My husband, 36M, and I, 30F, have been married for 6 years, and we have 2 kids, 4F and 2N. We didn't discuss this before marriage, but when I gave birth to our daughter, I just couldn't manage working, taking care of our daughter, and doing all the household chores, so now I'm a stay-at-home mom. There were times when I needed help at home, but I felt like I couldn't ask for it because I wasn't bringing in any money. It was also very difficult for me to be financially dependent on my husband. I never asked for anything for myself because he sometimes voiced about how much pressure he felt as the sole provider. Fast forward to 3 days ago, his younger sister lives in another country and comes to town once or twice a year. Last week, she told him she would visit, so my husband and I invited the family over for dinner. We were all having a good time until my sister-in-law started coughing and had trouble breathing. It was then that I knew she was horribly allergic to peanuts. We all rushed to her side to help. Then, I got slapped on the face from behind. I was facing away from my husband, so I didn't see it coming. I tried to explain that no one had told me before, and I had only seen her a few times after the wedding and never cooked for her. He was yelling at me the whole time I was trying to explain myself. When I told him that he knew I would be doing all the cooking for tonight, why didn't he think of telling me about it? He pushed me down on the couch and smacked me on the arms, back, and the back of my head. His family rushed to us and stopped him. They checked if I was okay for a minute, then went back to my sister-in-law's side. His older brother stayed by my side to ensure I was okay and to see if I needed anything. After a few minutes, my husband came back to the living room and acted like nothing had happened. My brother-in-law asked him if he had told me about their sister's allergy before, and he didn't answer. I told him I never knew about it until now. My in-laws checked on me one more time and then excused themselves. Only his older brother stayed with us. He asked me if it was the first time my husband had laid his hands on me. I couldn't answer with my husband sitting across from us. He suggested we take some time to process and think about what had just happened. I left that night with my brother-in-law and took my kids with me. I'm still with him and his wife, as my family lives in another country, and they wouldn't approve of my situation to begin with. Both my brother-in-law and his wife suggest I stay until my husband realizes what he really did. My husband did apologize but said he panicked and was scared for his little sister, as they are very close and growing up, he was like a father to her. He kept repeating that if I cared enough about his family, I would have asked him if anyone had any allergies since I was the one cooking for the night, and he blamed me for his brother's reaction. I don't know where to go from here. I have no relatives here to stay with until I sort everything out, and I only have one friend and can't stay with her. I grew up in a house where being grabbed by the face or arm was normal, but what happened that night was a little too much. I want my kids, and I don't want to lose them over my decision. My husband suggested couples therapy yesterday. I'm thinking about getting a divorce, or should I just let it slide and start therapy? I really have to think about it all because I know my family won't support me with my decision, and I will be on my own. Edit. My sister-in-law is okay. She's not angry with me for what happened. She even texted twice to check on me and the kids and apologize for not mentioning her allergy before. His family has always been good to me. Update 1. I was hesitant about posting on Reddit at first, but I decided to give as many details as possible and put myself out there to get outside insight and to determine if I'm to blame for what happened to my sister-in-law. Up until my post got a few comments, I was still sure it was somehow my fault, but I'm glad I posted about it here. Most of you suggested I stay with my brother-in-law, but I couldn't bring myself to ask him for more help. Then last night, he asked me if it's okay to talk about it now. I told him some things because I couldn't lay it all out. I told him that it wasn't the first time, and nothing was new to me that night except for the slap. I asked him if he could help me find a safe way out because I'm scared to go back, and need help looking up resources. Both he and his wife assured me that my kids and I are more than welcome to stay with them until I get back on my feet. They made it clear that they're willing to help us in any way possible. My brother-in-law said I have the right to decide what to do about it and that he could even drive me to report my husband if that's what I want, but just don't get him involved. I understood, and I thanked them for everything and promised them I would try to find a job as soon as possible. He also mentioned that my mother-in-law offered to pay 3 months' rent and childcare if I'm planning to leave, but he thinks it's better for me to stay with them for now. He promised he would make sure my mother-in-law follows through once I find a job because it will be more helpful then since it will be hard taking care of the kids and working. He told me to never feel like I owe them something because I would have done the same for them, as I met my husband through my brother-in-law when I worked with him for 6 months, and that he doesn't want my children to grow up wondering why no one loved them enough to step up and help their mother or end up abused or being abusers in the future. His words made me wonder, if he referred to his own brother as an abuser, then why am I still trying to look for ways to justify it or accept the blame? Although I'm not planning to get the police involved, my brother-in-law's wife is helping me document everything. She took pictures of the marks the moment we made it to their house. She's also helping me get him to admit to everything that happened that night and before. To this moment, I have 2 texts and 1 recorded call, along with other pictures I took before. I don't know why I ever took them because I never planned on doing anything. She said even if I'm not planning to press charges now, I should document everything just in case for later, and citing safety would be enough reason for my delay. As for my family, I called my parents this morning, and they weren't happy with what I told them. It's nothing I didn't expect. I knew they would not take a divorced daughter with 2 kids in. My cousin called me later and was so sad to hear about my situation and promised to send me some money to help. I'm not gonna lie, I never asked for help before, but when she offered, I found myself ready to accept. I really want to make things work for my kids. I don't want to lose them. By the way, both my brother-in-law and his wife, on top of letting me stay with them without any financial contribution, do things. If I cook, my brother-in-law or his wife do the dishes, even though they both work. Yesterday, I only did the laundry and some cleaning around the house, and they insisted I do nothing for dinner. While I'm glad to have some time to rest throughout the day, I can't shake the feeling that I should do more since I'm not paying for anything. I also want to mention that I'm planning to see a lawyer this week to understand my options and start the divorce process. I'm hoping this will help me take the right steps to ensure the safety and well-being of my kids. I'm also planning to start looking for a job this week, but I need to get my documents first. I'm beyond thankful for everything my in-laws are doing for me, but I'm still scared, and I don't know what I'm even scared of precisely now that I decided I won't go back to him. But yesterday, I couldn't close my eyes and get some sleep. Whenever I close them, I imagine my kids getting hurt. And if I'm being honest, I still feel like at some point I will mess everything up, but I hope I don't. Thank you for taking the time to read my post and all the advice you gave me. Edit. I'm sorry, I just realized I've been referring to him as my husband instead of soon-to-be ex-husband. I'm still adjusting.